right, hello everyone. It's me again, Kyle Shapiro. In-depth discussion with our technical experts, Paul and Tobias, about the 2.4T diesel engine and 9AT transmission of the GWM TANK300. This time, we're going to dive into his driving experience though. So today, I've already accepted a major challenge. I'll be taking this tank through an intense off-road test. And just thinking about it gets me excited. But before we jump into the challenge, let me introduce you to the GWM Tank brand, my favorite off-road vehicle. So GWM Tank, it's a special brand that has rapidly risen in the hardcore off-road SUV market. Since its launch, it has achieved incredible success, maintaining the #1 spot in China's off-road SUV sales for 52 consecutive months. So if I've done the math right, in China, for every 2 off-road vehicles sold, 1 is a GWM Tank. Now this number alone proves its widespread recognition and love amongst its users, making it a true champion in the industry. Now beyond that, I want to emphasize to everyone watching that the GWM Tank is not just a vehicle, it's a cultural symbol. It represents a spirit of adventure and fearless exploration. Just as the value that the Tank brand conveys to its users, it fulfills the mission of users yearning for a better life with strong strength and iron will. It carries the mission of helping users pursue a better life. So by now, I'm sure you're all curious about the model we're featuring today. Well, just look right beside me, and the answer is clear. Right here is the all-terrain off-road champion, the GWM TANK300. It's a favorite amongst off-road enthusiasts, and today I will introduce you to its new family member, which we have been discussing. It is the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition. Are you excited? Because I am, and I can't wait to experience the powerful 2.4T diesel engine that the GWM TANK300 has. So without further ado, let's witness the incredible road capabilities of this vehicle. Now let's get ready for our first challenge, towing a heavy-duty truck. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, guys, we are now at GWM's professional test track, specifically the dynamic testing area. This facility is home to countless professional test projects, and every GWM vehicle undergoes thousands of rigorous tests before hitting the market. So being in such a specialized testing ground, it's both thrilling and a little bit nerve-wracking. So we are now going to take a moment to introduce today's star though, the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition. This vehicle, it embodies GWM's cutting-edge technology and innovation. It's equipped with a 2.4T diesel engine, and it delivers both exceptional power and outstanding fuel efficiency. So additionally, it boasts unparalleled all-terrain capability and intelligent technology, making it the perfect representation of the new era of smart luxury off-roading. Now, I'm extremely excited to see how it performs. So do you see this massive truck behind me? This is our first challenge, towing a heavy-duty truck. So just look at its size. This beast, it weighs 17.5 tons, and right next to our star, the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition, some of you might be wondering, will it even be able to pull this massive truck? Will the frame hold up under such an intense load? Well, my answer is absolutely yes. And that is because the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition is built for extreme challenges. First off, the car features a non-load-bearing body structure with a frame that is made with 70% high-strength steel, which reaches a maximum strength of 1,500 megapascals. So you know it can withstand very high pressures. Second off, with its 2.4T diesel engine, it features a full all-terrain drive mode. So in terms of power and structural rigidity, the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition is nothing short of a steel beast. So to sum it up in one sentence, it can take you anywhere and bring you back safely. All right, enough talk. Let's start the engine and see how the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition handles this raw power challenge. Come on, let's see the epic showdown begin together. Let's go. Okay, let's see how the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition handles towing this massive heavy-duty truck with only the 2H mode, which is the two-wheel drive standard mode. Now, this is the mode we typically use for regular paved roads, providing both good stability and good fuel economy. But can it pull a 17.5-ton truck in this mode? Well, let's find out. Everything is set. Are you ready? Because I am. So let's head on over. Okay, ready, and 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so the start was a little slow, but thanks to the 2.4T diesel engine's immense torque, it quickly gained momentum. So at just 1,500 RPM, the engine delivers a peak torque of 480 Newton meters, which is absolutely insane. The tires are able to grip the ground firmly, and despite not using the four-wheel drive system, the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition is still able to pull this massive 17.5-ton truck. This is clear proof of its outstanding power, but as well, this also thanks to the TCS, which efficiently manages power output and it prevents the wheel from slipping. So our first attempt, it's complete, and we have successfully moved that massive truck even when in 2H mode. But now it's time to go all out. Let's switch on 4L mode, the four-wheel, low-speed, high-torque mode. Are you ready? This is going to be amazing. Okay, so now we are done with the 2H mode. That's the two-wheel drive mode. We are moving on to the 4L mode, which is the four-wheel drive, low-speed, high-torque mode. Now, some of you might not be familiar with the 4L mode, so let me explain briefly. The 4L is the low-speed, four-wheel drive mode, such that it's used for off-road conditions such as climbing and escaping from tough terrains. So activating the 4L mode provides maximum torque, tool for off-road enthusiasts like me. So now with that, everything is set. Let's do this. So ready, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, I mean, the tires dug right into the ground and you could hear that deep roar of the engine. So with the 4L mode activated, the torque, it's multiplied by 2.6 times, unleashing the full potential of the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition. So at 1,500 RPM, the diesel engine delivers an astonishing 480 Newton meters of peak torque, making pulling this massive truck look effortless. This incredible towing capability is not just for show. It is highly practical, also in real life situations. So imagine getting stuck in deep mud during an off-road adventure. You'd normally be in big trouble, but with the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition, with its high torque diesel engine and powerful towing ability, it can easily pull stranded vehicles out, rescuing both the driver and the car itself. Okay, with the successful 4L mode test finished, that is a wrap for our towing test challenge. And the results, they were beyond impressive. Twice, we successfully towed a 17.5-ton heavy-duty truck, proving the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition's remarkable power and towing capability. So this success is all thanks to the 2.4T diesel engine with its low-speed, high-torque performance, delivering 480 Newton meters of peak torque and 135 kilowatts of max power. So whether it's in the 2H mode, standard drive mode, or the 4L mode, low speed, four-wheel drive mode, the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition maintained consistent power output with no performance drop-off. It also demonstrated the incredible rigidity of its chassis, proving that it's built to handle extreme challenges. But this is just the first challenge. There are many more extreme off-road tests to come. Are you ready for the next challenge? Because I am, all right? So let's jump into the GWM TANK300 Diesel Edition and head to our next adventure. Let's go. Hi everyone, now we are heading to our next challenge site. Now this place is packed with exciting challenges and I'm truly thrilled to be here. Welcome to GWM's off-road driving base. Now you won't believe it, it spans something like hundreds, maybe even thousands of acres, making it a true outdoor town and off-road paradise. Here you can drive an off-road vehicle and conquer various terrains, from steep slopes to muddy trails and even rocky paths. Every road in itself is a challenge, and every challenge is an adrenaline rush. Can you already imagine the feeling of the tires just kicking up all this dirt? And now, the best part, this place isn't just a paradise for off-road enthusiasts. It's also a fantastic getaway for families and friends to relax and enjoy. Are you getting excited? Because I am. Everyone behind the screen, trust me, this will be an adventure that you will never forget. So, what kind of obstacles are we facing? Look ahead. There are large rocks, there are bumpy cobblestone roads, and a nearly 40-degree incline, cross-axle challenges, a seesaw obstacle, and even more complex mountain and riverbed terrains with extreme difficulty levels. Are you hyped? Because I am. So hold on tight, because before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the rugged exterior design of the GWM TANK300 Diesel version. Now, the GWM TANK300 has square and round elements. It seamlessly blends ruggedness with futuristic design elements, creating a unique off-road aesthetic. Now, how is the roundness expressed in the GWM TANK300? Well, take a look at the raised hood and muscular body lines, giving the vehicle a fuller and more powerful look, exuding a strong sense of muscularity. Meanwhile, the square elements are reflected in an overall boxy design, including the 3 horizontal bar rectangular grille, both front and rear bumpers. These design choices make the GWM TANK300 look even tougher. The interplay between the square and the round elements makes the GWM TANK300 rugged yet refined, creating a striking visual impact. One glance at this vehicle and you know it's not to be messed with. From the details to the overall styling, the exterior design showcases GWM Tank's deep understanding of hardcore aesthetics and its spirit of innovation. Now that we've covered the exterior, let's talk about the powerhouse under the hood, the all-new 2.4T diesel engine paired with the 9AT transmission. Now, the 2.4T diesel engine delivers a maximum net power of 135 kilowatts and an impressive peak torque of 480 Newton meters, making it one of the top performers in its class. Whether it's speed, torque, or efficiency, the GWM TANK300 Diesel has undergone a comprehensive power upgrade, truly achieving stronger, wilder, and safer performance. Now about the low-end torque explosion. From just 1,500 RPM, the engine reaches peak torque, meaning that for acceleration or off-road scenarios, the GWM TANK300 immediately delivers robust power. Whether it's muddy roads or steep inclines, it handles them with ease. sustained torque output between 1,500 to 2,500 RPM, maintains peak torque and smooth power delivery, excelling on challenging terrains. The efficiency performance in different markets, the Australian version achieves an NEDC fuel consumption as low as 7.8 liters. That's a wrap on the powertrain. Now let's put this machine to the test and see how it performs on real off-road challenges. Let's go. Really smooth for the large bumps that we're getting over here. I mean, okay. Just now when we were going over the large bumps, the performance of the GWM TANK300, it really impressed me. Its 2.4T diesel engine delivers a maximum torque of 480 Newton meters, especially at 1,500 RPM, where it can output maximum torque. This is particularly important in soft sand and muddy terrains. Simply put, when even encountering loose or slippery surfaces, the GWM TANK300 can easily maintain traction and will not get stuck due to a lack of power. What amazed me the most was its traction and starting performance, which completely exceeded my expectations, especially when we were going over and stuck through the middle of those bumps. The car almost didn't need to consciously adjust anything related to the throttle. So the engine continuously transmits power to all four wheels, effortlessly moving the vehicle through the different terrains without any sort of sluggish feeling or any sort of stoppage. The smooth power delivery allows for a relaxed mindset where we can just focus on the steering and moving forwards. Now we're facing a stepped road. The stepped road is no easy challenge. It's a huge test for the vehicle's passability. But why do I say that? Well, I say that because it's an incredibly high passability with a 33-degree approach angle, a 34-degree departure angle, and a longitudinal passing angle of 23.1 degrees, along with minimum ground clearance of 224 millimeters. So to take the approach angle, for example, the larger the angle, the less likely the vehicle is to hit the ground when approaching obstacles or going uphill. The departure angle ensures that the vehicle's rear won't scrape when leaving obstacles or descending. The breakover angle is also critical. It determines how well the vehicle's undercarriage clears raised or uneven terrain without scraping. So with that said and done, let's go down this stepped hill. Yeah, so that was a super smooth transition. We barely had any feeling at all. But now there's an even steeper challenge ahead, and that is the 40-degree steeped slope. The GWM TANK300 Diesel version's maximum gradient angle is 66 degrees, so this 40-degree slope should be a piece of cake for it. However, as we all know, real driving is different from theory, so I'm a bit nervous about whether it will surprise us or not. This is pretty steep. So on steep terrain, we can switch to the 4-liter mode, which locks the front and rear axis, providing a 50-50 torque split between the front and rear axis. Both the front, whoa. I mean, okay, I was a bit freaked out, but the driver here, zero feeling at all because he is very confident in the car. Both the front and rear wheels provide sufficient power, ensuring stable traction during climbs like that, as well as with turns and other maneuvers, enhancing the vehicle's passability and handling. This, with even more power distribution, reduces the risk of slipping and losing control, making driving safer and more stable. It enhances our off-road safety experience. So let's head on down now and see how this feels. So if you listen closely, you can feel the continuous power output though. I can clearly feel the strong low end torque of this 2.4T diesel engine, delivering 480 Newton meters of torque at 1,500 RPM, making climbing and descending effortless. Plus, the 9AT transmission responds quickly. With its 200 millisecond quick response time, it automatically downshifts, making the power delivery smoother. The climbing and descending ability of the GWM TANK300 Diesel version is really impressive, and it did not disappoint at all. Next up, we're facing a stepped obstacle, a classic challenge for off-road vehicles. Let's go over. The differential lock on the front and rear axles ensures that even in stepped obstacles, the wheel speeds and torque are consistent, allowing the wheels and traction to continuously receive torque, ensuring power recovery performance. When combined with the four-wheel drive system, it enables the vehicle to recover even when only one wheel has traction. This is crucial because it ensures the GWM TANK300 can pass through extreme terrain and avoid common problems like slipping or even getting stuck. Now, when we just got over that cross-axle obstacle, the vehicle passed through it smoothly. The effect of the differential lock was very noticeable, and the vehicle didn't lose any control at all. So now we've arrived at the seesaw obstacle. Now this challenge is a real test for the vehicle. Let's head on up. So what will happen on the seesaw is that one side of the vehicle will be hanging in the air while the other side is on the ground. This extreme height difference is a moment to test the vehicle's stability and suspension system, but the GWM TANK300 is truly impressive. At this moment, its front double wishbone structure and rear multi-link non-independent suspension and high ground clearance of 224 millimeters showcases its incredible adaptability. The body almost didn't tilt at all. The suspension system support was rock solid. Especially with this seaside obstacle, during off-roading, the large suspension travel will keep all four wheels in contact with the ground, ensuring traction at all times while also providing better impact comfort, maximizing comfort while ensuring off-road ability. So let's head on over to the next challenge, and that is the cobblestone roads. But before that, we have another uphill incline to get over. So cobblestone roads are a real challenge, especially with such bumpy, uneven surfaces. Every stone, it feels like a test for the vehicle's power and suspension. So let's go and see how it is. Now, I expect that the GWM TANK300 will perform quite steadily. Let's see as we go over these bumps. I mean, going over such an uneven surface, usually the car would have even a risk of tumbling completely over. But yes, we're moving and bumping around a little bit, but overall you don't feel any nervousness or fear about the entire process of going over this terrain. So, and I mean, to my surprise, but also to not my surprise, the GWM TANK300 performed extremely steadily just now. And if we were to go over the whole experience after that, let's talk about the power first. The 480 Newton meter peak torque of this 2.4T engine, it really comes in handy on such a terrain. Even when facing larger stones, the car can climb over them steadily without any sort of power shortage. A slight press on the throttle is enough to feel the continuous and smooth output with no concern about getting stuck or stalling. So next is the suspension system, which is simply outstanding. Usually when driving on this kind of road, either the car shakes so much that you feel dizzy, or it sways enough that it makes you anxious and maybe even nauseous. So the GWM TANK300, it really is different. Its suspension tuning is superb, filtering out all of those vibrations. So inside the car, we barely feel any severe bumps.
that coupled with its high ground clearance design, it means that the vehicle's body is high enough off the ground so there's no worry about scraping the undercarriage on stones. The 3mm ultra high strength ensures protection for the vehicle when off-roading and on extreme terrain. Now, when we turn on the 360-degree view imaging, the 4 wide-angle cameras around the vehicle provide a clear view of the stones underneath, giving us extra confidence and allowing us to easily find the proper path to pass through. Even though the road was very bumpy, the GWM TANK300 kept us feeling really stable. It made passing over those stones almost effortless, and the car remained comfortable inside. This experience made me even more convinced of his off-road performance. It's truly powerful, yet considerate to the consumer.
Okay. Whew. That was exciting. Now that we're done with the drive testing in the training test area, I am looking forward to seeing it in real application. But just now, the GWM TANK300 did incredibly well. With that in mind, though, I would like to hear some of your guys' thoughts about the GWM TANK300. So let's hear from you. I see a question. The first question comes from Mr. Wayne. What are the advantages of the 4-wheel drive system in the GWM TANK300 Diesel? That's a great question. Thank you very much. So the GWM TANK300 Diesel is equipped with a part-time 4-wheel drive system, allowing you to switch between different modes depending on the different terrains. For example, in muddy or sandy environments, you can manually switch to 4L low-speed 4-wheel drive mode to increase traction on the wheels, while on highways, you can use the 2H 2-wheel drive mode to improve your fuel efficiency. This is really important. So I see we have another question. How is the power performance of the GWM TANK300 Diesel? Great question too. So the GWM TANK300 Diesel, it's powered by a turbocharged diesel engine, which has a maximum output of 135 kilowatts and a peak torque of 480 Newton meters, which provides strong power and great fuel efficiency. Next question is, what is the fuel consumption of the 2.4T diesel engine? Well, the NEDC fuel consumption is 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers in Australia and 7.7 liters in South Africa, with a total range of 950 kilometers. How is the driving experience of the GWM TANK300 Diesel? Great question as well. It features advanced front double wishbone structure and rear multi-link non-independent suspension. Along with a part-time 4-wheel drive system, this provides full terrain driving modes, ensuring stability and handling on many various different terrains. So thank you everyone for your questions. Your interactiveness really is great support for us. Now let's move on to the next challenge. Are you ready? I am. Hey everyone, do you see those mountains over there in the distance? Those are our biggest challenge of the day. Now, this is the mountain off-road driving test area, and I can't wait to get to the top. I can't wait to go through all the different challenges that will lead us all the way over there. So I'm ready. I hope you are. Let's go.
Right now we're about to cross the river, and it's a little bit of water that we're passing through, not much of a big deal. But the first thing that I noticed when we're in here is that, well, it's very smooth and it's very quiet. Again, this is a diesel engine, a 2.4T diesel engine, but from the inside of the car, I hear almost nothing. This makes it a very comfortable ride, especially right now we're on a smooth open road. So it's a good driving experience overall. Now up ahead, we have a very wide river, but again, this is our first challenge, but again, I'm not too worried because the GWM TANK300, it has a 700 millimeter wading depth. So with that, you can get through many different types of scenarios that include deep water without having any worry. Now, in this riverbed, there's also, and you can feel it, there's a lot of different types of rocks and uneven surfaces. The bottom of the GWM TANK300, it has a 3 millimeter high density steel protective casing, and this ensures that your car remains both safe and reliable, that nothing gets damaged underneath. At the moment though, we are approaching a more sandy terrain. This sandy terrain also, it's quite reliable and smooth. What standard rough road, mud, sand, and the like. So at this moment though, we are heading uphill, and this is under a certain mode that's called crawl control. And crawl control, what it does is it limits the speed, but also ensures that we have a lot of torque, so we can get up on these really bumpy and inclined roads. Now, earlier we did go over that 40-degree slope in the challenge circuit, but here again we don't have to worry because it has a 60-degree capacity, and we're getting over that really high slope just here, and it was very easy. This is very bumpy road, but again, I feel full stability here. Now, when we're going uphill, it's very easy because of what the heart of the GWM TANK300 has, and that heart is the engine, and this is a 135 kilowatt power output coupled with 480 kilonewtons of torque. Now, another feature of this is when you get into the 4L mode, it makes climbing even easier. But one thing to note is that when it's activated, the torque can increase to up to 2.64 times. Yeah, 2.64 times. So you're ensuring that you can get to where you want. Wow. Yeah, this is a very bumpy road, but if you were to take any other car, I'm sure it will be a lot more difficult to clear than with this one. So speaking of safety, what's really important to note is that this car's frame is made with 70% high strength steel, with ultra high strength steel that's reaching a maximum strength of 1,500 MPa. This ensures that the body deforms less during impact and is more durable overall. Another feature to note is that the GWM TANK300, its roof can also withstand what I've heard is an outstanding maximum static pressure of 15 tons, and you can feel free and comfortable to just move forward.
Whew. Okay guys, that was an incredible experience. I mean, I've never experienced so many different highly extreme terrains in one go. Well, first off, we went through that smooth open road on our way to the riverbed, but that smooth open road, again, smooth, quiet. It's a diesel engine, yet it was so quiet from the inside. Then when we got to the water, I was never worried that we were ever gonna clear it or not. It just felt smooth all across the process. When we got to the sandy roads, you would expect, okay, the tires will lose traction, you're gonna slip out, you're gonna skid. Not a single time. Even though we were going up and downhill and even taking turns on the sandy road, not a single time did I feel any slippage as a passenger. After the sandy roads, we headed up one of the bumpiest uphills and one of the steepest inclines I've been on. And yes, okay, it was super bumpy, but I never felt unsafe in the process. You can just be at ease when you're here, when you're in the car, and you can enjoy the moment. So you can enjoy the drive because you know it's reliable, you know that you're gonna get to where you're gonna be because of all the incredible automatic safety and control systems that are both active and passive. And then once we got up and over that steep hill, we winded around all those bumpy mountain roads going up, down, left and right. And again, smooth. It didn't have a single instance that I felt like we were going to skid out or anything. So overall, I mean, the torque, the power, the stability, the reliability, the safety, this really just does prove it. We not only spoke about it, we then took it into a testing track, and then we took it into a real life application. And I'm telling you, after the real life application, I 100% believe in this car as an off-road driving machine. So this is really a challenge breaker. And being that, I am really looking forward to the next challenge that I can take on with this vehicle. So thank you very much, and let's go on to the next challenge. Thanks.
Now, something I'd like to repeat about is that the GWM TANK300, it offers 9 different driving modes for numerous different road conditions. That includes the 2-wheel drive standard, in the 2L mode. It includes a 4-wheel drive standard mode, which is the 4H. It includes a 4-wheel drive snow, which is also 4H, and a 4L mode, which would be the low speed 4-wheel drive mode. And that's for many different other sorts of scenarios like snow, sand, water, rough terrain on roads, many different sorts of factors, so many different forms of road conditions. So something about the 4L mode, it makes climbing even easier. So before you start climbing, you switch to the 4L mode, which is the low speed 4-wheel drive. It increases the torque and traction output significantly by enlarging the transmission ratio. So when the 4L is activated, the torque can increase up to 2.64 times. So even when facing really steep slopes, the vehicle can steadily climb without worrying about slippage or lack of power. So in non-paved roads or off-road situations, you can select the 4H or 4L 4-wheel drive modes, and the front and rear axles can be locked, and when they're locked, they distribute a equal ratio of power of 50-50 between the front and the back. So that sort of function, it helps us to provide enough power to ensure that when you get in such situations that you would potentially get stuck or normally get stuck, it will help you get the vehicle unstuck. Yes, we're a bit bumpy sometimes, but I'm actually really getting a chance to enjoy this off-road experience without any fear of stability, reliability, or safety. And now, talking about reliability, yeah, I touched on the fact that there is a thick steel undercoating underneath, or a protective piece underneath the undercarriage of the car. So no matter what sort of surfaces that we are getting over or around, you know that you're not damaging the underside of the vehicle, which means that it's just going to last longer. And right now, we're moving through all these different terrains. Yeah, I can even feel the high torque that's powering through the engine. But this high torque, usually when you're at those sorts of situations, you can hear the engine, especially with a diesel engine. I mean, think of those really large trucks that are out there, or even a shipping boat that would have one of those diesel engines. You just know that feeling. It is a low rumble that is just constantly there. But here, I just feel comfort. And again, coupled with these really comfy leather seats, it feels like a fun off-road experience in a practical and luxurious high-end car. So this is the best of both worlds. It's high-end off-road. What can you ask for more? I mean, I can't wait until I get a chance to be behind the wheel on this one now. And right now we're taking a bunch of winding turns. With these winding turns, again, you can feel that the whole drivetrain is really, really stable through the process. You don't feel any slipping, you don't feel anything. I can see ahead of us, there's a lot of gravel, a lot of pebbles, a lot of rocks, a lot of debris all along the pathway, but those don't seem to be affecting us in any sort of way. So now we've finally gotten down to the bottom of the hill and we're about to hit another straight track. Let's get another feeling of that higher speed and smooth road. All right, I mean, we've now just completed that mountain course. We're about to cross the wide river one more time, but I gotta say, getting over the water, getting through the different sand, the sandy road, getting up that extremely uneven, bumpy, steep uphill incline, and going and winding around all those different mountain roads. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am surprised at just how well this GWM TANK300 did on all of these extreme conditions. And this vehicle is built for overcoming challenges, and with that being said, I look forward to overcoming more challenges up next. So we'll see you soon. So now we're on our way to our next test, and this gives me an opportunity to really feel the practicality and the comfort as the passenger in a car like this. Now, we're not just talking about an off-road monster. This is also a daily driver. So now that we're on our way, we're on the highway, and it really is obvious that there is really good noise control in this vehicle. The GWM TANK300, it's got a 2.4T diesel engine under the hood. So not just the fact that we don't hear the engine itself, but we don't even hear all the big trucks. So it's really got good insulation when it comes to the interior of the car, but also when it comes to the passive and active components of noise control in the powertrain system. So right now, beyond just noise control, the seats themselves are so comfortable. I mean, this is Napa leather that I'm sitting in right now, and it's really formed and comfortable for my body to sit in. It's got electronic controls that I can change the different angles of how I sit, of course, but this is just practical and comfortable. One more thing that I gotta say is, and this is both for road trips and for off-road driving, is my visibility. I have 360-degree visibility in this car, and that comes, but not only that, the dashboard itself is thinner than I'm used to, and that means that we're actually sitting closer forward on the vehicle. And not just that, the fact that this car is so high off the ground, we have this overhead bird's eye view almost of everything around us. This makes just the entire experience much more enjoyable. I mean, I just had to pause in the middle of that sentence because the sun just popped out of the back of the mountains as we're going along these roads, and this is just comfort, quiet, stable, beautiful.
The interior design of the GWM TANK300, from material selection to the finest details, it reflects GWM Tank's relentless pursuit of luxury and comfort.
And I'm getting to see comfort. This is everything that someone would want in a car for a driving experience. I mean, nothing can get better than just being able to relax, enjoy everything that you're seeing on a road trip. And that's kind of how I'm saying this, how I'm taking this moment, because yes, we're driving to the next test. So right now we're on our way to do some water testing, but along the way we are going along this sandy road right here, and again, there is no worry about slippage or traction issues because of the 9 different modes that this car has, and those modes include the two-wheel drive standard 2H, the four-wheel drive standard 4H for high speed, the four-wheel drive high speed, which includes standard and snow mode, but then you also have the 4L mode, and the 4L mode will include or will help us in many different sorts of terrain, such as for sand, mud, water, etc. So right now, as we are going along this path, I'm not worried that we're gonna get across it because we got 9 different modes to choose from. So sandy surfaces can often cause a car to get stuck, but when you have these sorts of modes like the sand mode, this automatically controls the whole driving system to enable us to easily overcome these sorts of conditional obstacles. So I mean, right now here we've hit the water area and it's extremely muddy. So this is when you would use something more like the mud mode, and the mud mode just ensures that the traction and stability hits the wheels exactly how we need, so that all the driver needs to do is focus on what's in front of them. So when you get into something like mud mode, the 4L system or the 4L mode, it allows you to ensure that the four wheels all maintain stability and grip. They can just ground firmly, so you know that for sure you won't slip out and you won't get stuck. Okay, now we've hit the water, and this is an extremely bumpy surface, and this GWM TANK300, the undercarriage is super important, especially when you're doing when you're riding in an off-road vehicle. Or it's imperative that it is reliable and it's going to last, and that's why it has a 3mm high density protective steel structure underneath to just ensure that nothing bad will happen to the under part of your car while you're overcoming these extreme conditions and terrains. So one more thing to note is the TCS system of the vehicle. Now, the TCS system it plays an imperative role in the overall stability of the car, because it ensures that when you're going through uneven surfaces, when you're going through sandy, water, muddy surfaces, it will just ensure that you maintain stability and you will never get stuck in these unfavorable moments. So yes, it's a bit bumpy inside, but this is very normal for these extremely, and I'm telling you, extremely uneven surfaces. So we are driving through these sorts of extreme conditions right now, but at the same time, I don't feel unsafe. I feel the stability and rigidity of the vehicle. So the GWM TANK300, it really allows me to be able to take in this moment of the environment around us. I mean, if you guys could see this, we're in the middle of a valley and we're treading through this really deep and muddy water, but at the same time, yeah, I get to enjoy this moment without worrying about anything else. And I can't wait to have the moment to be behind the wheel of this car and experience these sorts of off-road conditions myself. So again though, when we get into these extreme road conditions, we can always activate our 4L mode. And this, when you activate the 4L mode, it actually increases the torque up to 2.64 times the regular torque, which is incredible. It just ensures that you will have what you need to overcome these sorts of challenges. But in non-paved roads or off-roading, you just don't have to worry, because in these sorts of four-wheel drive modes, what it does is ensures that your front and back have an even 50-50 ratio distribution of power and torque. You just know that you're gonna get out of any sort of sticky situation. Right now we're going over quite cobbly road. This is very bumpy, a lot of different sized rocks and a lot of different sized and shaped rocks that we're getting through. We also have to take these winding turns, yet you feel no slippage at all actually. So we're going over all these different cobblestone rocks, different sorts of shape sizes, and we're turning left, we're turning right. But yes, it's a little bit uneven, but again, you feel stable, but also I feel super comfortable. And that is also attributed to the fact that the seats are super comfy. I mean, they were designed really well. They were obviously designed for driving experience. They just want the consumer, the customer, to have the best experience they can have with when they are driving this vehicle. So the leather, everything, it's very clean, it's very simple, practical, but it feels still very luxurious and high-end at the same time. Right now we are in the middle of this valley. Yeah, we have all these mountains surrounding us. We have all this waterbed and all these uneven terrains. And I get to have a chance to really take it all in because of all the 360-degree visibility in this vehicle. The GWM TANK300, it really has very clear visibility. You have very minimal blind spots. I don't really see any blind spots at all at the moment. And I can say that the windows, they are large, and the fact that we are positioned actually much closer to the windshield, with the fact that we are in such an elevated vehicle, you can really see everything. Speaking of elevated vehicle, yeah, this car is 224 millimeters off the ground. That means that when you're going through really high waters like we did just now, that coupled with the 700 millimeters of wading depth capacity, you just know that you are okay and you're going to get to where you need to go. So when we've activated the four-wheel drive system, you'll very much notice that the traction and stability is incredibly increased. So it doesn't matter what sort of surface we're driving over. At the moment, it's a very sandy, bumpy, rocky surface, but at no moment do I feel like we are slipping out. So this is very essential for the driving experience. You just feel safe and you get to focus on the road. So driving this car, it just makes you feel safe in the process. But speaking about safety, the frame of this vehicle is made from 70% high-strength steel. Now this ultra high-strength steel, it reaches a maximum strength of 1500 megapascals. Like the roof can even withstand 15 tons of maximum static pressure. This is an outstanding feature amongst its peers, and knowing that just makes you feel more relaxed and comfortable while you're going on these extreme road trips. So for uneven surfaces like what we're going through now, you get into the four-wheel drive mode. You can hop into 4H, you can hop into 4L for the more extreme conditions. But once you do, it allows the wheels to just get much more traction. And when you have more traction, you just know that you won't slip out and you won't have any issues. You can get unstuck in any of those really crucial moments. So the 4L mode, this is very particular. It allows you to really get that high torque at a low speed. So this is another thing to just punch in there, is low speed, high torque. No matter what sort of extreme stuck moment that you get in, if you get stuck in between a few really large crevices, this will ensure that you have the greatest opportunity to get out of that situation. So with the four-wheel drive system, you got the 4H, you got the 4L, but now let's talk specifically about the 4L mode. I mean, when you activate the 4L mode, the torque can increase up to 2.64 times. Yes, 2.64 times. That just makes you feel insured and comfortable that you are going to have the power you need to get over any sort of challenge. So why was it so easy for us just now to cross those mountain roads, the sandy roads, the riverbanks? But we just know that you can get across a lot of these different sort of road conditions. But at the same time, I just can relax in the moment and enjoy the bumpy ride. It feels almost kind of like a roller coaster. So you know with roller coasters that you're gonna be fully safe. So you can just enjoy that thrill and that adrenaline. And that's what I love about off-roading, is the adrenaline feature. But if I need to not worry about any aspect of the safety because my car is already doing that automatically for me, wow, then that just makes me be able to be in the moment even more and enjoy it even more and take in that adrenaline rush. Yeah. So with the different four-wheel drive modes, yeah, you can get through mountain roads, mud, water like what we're doing right here, rocky roads, bumpy roads, sand, snow. These are all no problem for the GWM Tank 300, as we have proved today in the practical application test. Right now we're about to hit a really deep water patch, but again, I'm not worried at all, and the driver's not worried at all, because we have a 700 millimeter wade depth in this vehicle. You just know that you can get through almost any situation, or pretty much any situation. So right now, we've just gone through the main batch of the current test, and I gotta say, wow, we've put it to a practical, real-life test, and it has proven itself. I'm telling you, I'm talking throughout this entire trip, and I never had a moment where I had to think, oh no, we're about to slip out, or oh my god, something's gonna happen. It's just a smooth, stable, safe feeling as a passenger and a driver. The driving experience is unparalleled for an off-road vehicle. Again, the safety I spoke about, but I'll have to mention once more the comfort. The seats are comfortable, everything's comfortable. You have the comfort in knowing that it is stable and safe. You have the comfort in physically sitting in here, and you have the comfort in the noise control, because yeah, the engine, a 2.4T diesel engine, we barely hear it roaring even though it's right in front of us. That, coupled with the extreme terrain that we just got over, you don't hear anything from the rocks, you don't hear anything from the water that's just belting through the river. You hear nothing. It is quiet, it is relaxing, and I can soak up the moment and the view effortlessly. So as I said, this has been such an enjoyable experience, and I get to really be in the moment because I know that it's safe and it's stable. I don't have any sort of distraction like noise distraction. I don't have uneven bumpiness. I mean, it's stable bumpiness. So I'm really getting to enjoy it. And so, I mean, I don't want to be selfish and be the only one that's enjoying it. I hope that everyone that's viewing now on the live broadcast is enjoying it too.
Thank you for joining our live broadcast. I gotta say, the GWM Tank 300 Diesel, it truly is a powerful off-road vehicle. So with the new 2.4T diesel engine and 9AT transmission, its maximum net power reaches 135 kilowatts, and its peak torque is a robust 480 Newton meters. It not only is great for complex road conditions, but it also offers comfort and good fuel economy for daily use. So whether you're an off-road enthusiast or someone who seeks ultimate driving control, the GWM Tank 300 will be your ideal choice.
So if you have any questions at all, please leave your question in the comment section and we will get to it.
Hi everyone, as a new member of the GWM Tank family, the GWM Tank 300 Diesel demonstrates its formidable off-road capabilities today, showcasing its charm. But within the GWM Tank family, we also have the GWM Tank 300 HEV and the Tank 300 petrol versions, all of which are excellent products themselves too. So I'm excited for you to experience these vehicles firsthand and truly feel the off-road power of GWM. And finally, I'd like to say that the GWM Tank 300 is not just your off-road companion, but a pioneer in your lifestyle. It leads every off-road enthusiast towards a desirable lifestyle, allowing more people to experience the charm of off-roading and the endless possibilities of life. Thank you guys so much for viewing, and I will see you next time.
GWM, go with more.
Put on the air conditioner.
All right, AC is on in the driver zone.
GWM, go with more.